Welcome to the 3 Gig Sports Podcast, where we are never wrong, but sometimes misinformed. This is Danny G sitting alongside Rio and Jimmer today, and we've got a special guest joining us today in Mr. Mike Estus. And for this part, Rio, I'll go ahead and let you do the intro, man.
All right. Hey, special day for 3 Gig Sports Podcast. We have Mike Estus here, big time into MMA in North Iowa. So if you're a North Iowa listener, you already know who he is. And I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to him, and he can introduce himself some more. So, Mike.
Hey, guys. What's up? Thanks for inviting me on the podcast. Looks really good. Nice setup you guys got going. Looks like you got a good following going on. Appreciate it. I'm just with North Iowa Fights. I do about 4 events a year. I do 2 kickboxing and pro boxing at the fairgrounds, and then I do my MMA at the Mason City Arena. So I got all my dates lined up. I got November 27th for pro boxing and amateur kickboxing. I got Brian Mcintyre. A lot of people know who he is, I guess, around the North Iowa area too. He played pro arena football too and stuff, I guess, and he was getting paid every game and stuff like that. He's told me some stories. He's a pretty athletic guy. Then we got a enclosed date on February, and then we got May 21st at the Mason City Arena MMA, and then we got August 6th MMA Mason City Arena.
There we go.
Nice.
Nice.
Looking like y'all are going to be pretty busy. Now about yourself. You did some MMA yourself. Tell us a little about that.
Yep. I was ended my career as 7-5 as a professional. Fought in Bellator 3 times. I probably maybe fought a fight too many. Probably should have retired a little earlier. I had a lot going on. I was coaching and fighting at the same time, and it was pretty hard. But I loved it and stuff like that. Especially with Chris here too. He trained with me for a long time. He's good at the sport and fought. Remember when you fought that one guy that?
Yeah.
Man, what was his record? Like 8-2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's 8-2, and usually commission doesn't pass stuff like that. So the head commissioner comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, Mike, this guy that you're fighting, I just want to let you guys know he's 8-2, and Chris has never fought before. So you want to do this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we're good." And he went to decision with them, and I don't know, he had a pretty good career as well.
That was a crazy fight. Because we took the fight the day before weigh-ins.
Oh, yep.
So I cut like 8 pounds, 9 pounds, something like that, the day before weigh-ins, and rolled in there, made weight, and then we went out and just it didn't go out. I was planning on trying to use wrestling. That's my background, right? And we just ended up slugging it out on the feet for the most part. I think I got a couple takedowns, but yeah, just swinging on the feet.
A lot of strikes.
Yeah.
Fight of the Night award.
Fight of the Night award. So, I know who you fought in Bellator. Tell us a couple of the names because they are pretty good fellas. So go ahead and let the listeners know.
Standout Brandon Gertz. He's been the main event a few times. I think he even beat Melvin Gillard.
Yeah, he was up there in the rankings for Bellator for those of y'all that don't know. And he's had a couple injuries, but he's been right there in the title chase. He's had a couple of close losses, a couple of injuries that have put him out. But, shoot, I think he was undefeated at the time.
Yeah, he's definitely, UFC material and stuff. But, you got Bellator and UFC. They're both competitors and stuff. And I've noticed, I don't know if you guys have, especially with, Michael Chandler and Eddie Alvarez, they had to work really hard to get to the UFC. And there's fighters lower than them, making it because they're kind of like, well, I don't want a guy from – Bellator, but they should help each other back and forth actually, because then kind of bring somebody back, or something. But I don't know, it just is what it is, I guess, So
right.
Then I fought Bobby Volker for Shamrock and stuff like that. Well, speaking of Brandon Gertz, still to go back to that, I was supposed to fight Cole Williams. He was on, how they have UFC Ultimate Fighter. Mm-hmm. They had an Ultimate Fighter for Bellator. Do you guys remember that ever? They had a house.
That was a while ago.
It went for 2 years.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep. Well, he was on it, and I think he got robbed by Riggs, Diesel Riggs. So he got second, basically, in that whole thing. I was supposed to fight him originally, and then he hurt his neck that following Sunday, and so then my manager's like, Chad Bergmeyer, he's like, hey, you got this opponent. And I'm like, is the pay more? And he's like, no. And then I looked at the guy, and he's like the real deal, you know. And I was a little intimidated and worried and stuff like that. Especially like the training that I go through now. Like, you got to stop by sometime, Chris. Like, I'm telling you, it's so different now. Like, it's a grinder. Like how you probably used to wrestle back in the day. Like how all those hard practices.
Yeah.
The jiu-jitsu games got so good just with Josh Neer and just taking my team to the Diaz camp and stuff. The last couple times I went there, I remember getting tapped always by the same guys. And then now I go, and now I'm competitive, and now it's back and forth. And there's this one guy named Lucas Gamaza, and he's pretty much the only guy to tap me at the Diaz Academy now.
Yeah.
He just keeps getting me in a freaking trial. He
beat the shit out of me when we went out to Stockton that one time. We rolled off the plane, jumped in a car, rolled 45 minutes to the gym, hopped out, threw boxing gloves and headgear on. He beat the piss out of me.
You remember Lucas then?
Yeah, I remember Lucas.
Yeah, so now he's a black belt, and he's like freaking legit. And then like he's like this all the time. His eyes are just, you know, really huge and stuff. And he's like, you know what, Mike? He's like, you guys got to take shrooms with me and roll fucking hard. And I'm like, dude, I don't know. I've like never took him. I don't know. And he's like, dude, I'm on him right now.
Right.
And then he taps everybody out. Nobody can even pass his freaking guard. And that's kind of like what our game is now too, is we don't want nobody to pass our guard, and we always want to get that side mount and then just start doing work. And but that guy's a freak. He's like definitely world class for sure. But I usually let people triangle me now because you guys see I'm bigger and I got shoulders. So then I can tire him out and stuff, but not this guy, man. And he's like 170.
That's interesting you bring that up, because that was my trick when I was fighting MMA, that I would let them punch me in the face till their arms got tired.
Yeah.
And then that's when
take a hit.
Then through my swollen eyes, that's when I was going to get their ass.
when them arms couldn't swing no more, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you may beat my ass, but you ain't going to knock me out.
I got you.
This motherfucker can take a hit, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember watching that. I think the one I might have seen two, but the one I remember is in Des Moines. That one in Des Moines.
Yeah.
That was the fight or the 3 rounds.
That was the one you were
right?
talking about. Yeah.
That was good, right? That was
that was awesome.
Fight.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Watch that one. I watched one at the fairgrounds with him. That was a kickboxing, I do believe, but I think that's what that one was. I
I did
recorded
a couple kickboxing one. That was crazy.
Yep.
Some good fights. There's always this one kid I want to fight because he wanted to fight MMA. We ended up fighting kickboxing. He's like, I'm going to beat your ass, because you're a wrestler and this and that. And then I beat him in kickboxing, right? And then he's still trying to talk trash. And I was like, dude, just get in the cage with me, because then I'm definitely going to smoke you. And I think he went pro. I can't remember his name now.
But it's all stand-up guy?
Yeah,
Kinda.
pretty much, yeah.
But then he pussed out or something, huh?
Yeah, he was kind of a strange cat. I don't know if he got hit too many times.
Hey, man, listen, all fighters are freaking nuts.
Yeah.
You got to be a little
Yeah.
crazy.
You gotta
be.
You have
Yeah.
to be a little.
You have to be.
There's
Yeah.
always a
Yeah.
piece of mental illness that comes with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Well, speaking of that, like, what got you into it? Like, where'd you start, man?
Just like, I was never really a fighting type, even like people, from when I was in high school and stuff. I wasn't, really like that. I was actually really into football and stuff. I basically, I don't know. I used to do, bad stuff back in the day and get in trouble, and, then I started drinking and going out to bars and kind of looking for fights and stuff. And I just wanted to get respect from people. And I kind of took that approach the wrong way, because I thought only somebody would respect you if you're tough, or if you beat their ass, or they'll only listen to you or respect you if you do that,
Yep.
And I've had some pretty wild fights, especially out in the bar days. But then when I started getting into MMA and stuff, then I got humbled quite a few times and started learning the discipline and the understanding of how to do it the right way.
Right, and the commitment it takes.
Because it's two completely different things. Because usually, like, when you're a fighter and stuff, like, you avoid fights, even if you got, like, some drunk, like, idiot just going, rah, 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 and just, going nuts wanting to fight. You're just like, dude, seriously, like, get away from me. Like,
Yep.
But yeah, it's just, that's pretty much what,
So you started later. So you started when? Like, what
I started
age?
in 2009. I was 26 years old. I'm 38.
Damn, and you got to that level at that. That's awesome, dude. Not starting that till that late in life.
Yeah, 2009 to 2012 is when that's when I had my Bellator debut. or 2013, right in that range.
Yeah.
Not
But
trying
yeah,
to make you
it
feel
was
old or
fast.
anything, but Bobby Volker's still fighting.
I know, right? And winning.
I seen him get a knockout. I follow that
Yeah.
Titan FC page, whatever he's fighting for.
Yeah. And then he went to Bellator, and then he got beat, which I was surprised in the first round.
Maybe,
And then-
maybe Father Time's finally catching up to him because he's up there in age too,
Yeah, and fighters are growing so faster than different now. Like
Yep.
everybody's got
Oh,
a blue
yeah.
belt, or a purple belt. now.
Right. Well, they're starting, way younger, and they're realizing the sport. It was funny, kind of talking on the Mike Chandler thing. Going back to that, we talk about Bellator and those guys coming over. Everybody always say Bellator has more pay for the fighters who are lower on the scale, right? So that's
Right.
why you see fighters jumping over there. But it seems like the UFC will pay those higher name fighters, Mike Chandler, those types, higher pay. With the names.
1,000%.
Yeah, they'll pay him way more, so the guys that want to jump over because their exposure is going to be much more. Like, when do you see like Bellator or whatever is on tonight? You never really see that, but
Right.
you always see UFC 267, whatever it is
Yep.
tomorrow. It's like you
Yes.
always see it. So it's almost like those fighters go over there just for almost the recognition. They know they're going to get paid if you're decent. You beat the UFC top guys, right?
Yep.
So I just find it funny that the lower guys seem to want to jump to Bellator because they'll pay a little bit more on that bottom scale,
Yeah.
and then those higher guys in Bellator will come over because they'll get that almost like that recognition that they want that they don't get in Bellator.
Which to me doesn't necessarily hurt. Doesn't necessarily hurt Bellator. So those are the boys that are trying to compete. Like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
they're trying
Yeah.
to feed. They're trying
They're
to.
hungry, man.
They're
Oh,
hungry.
yeah.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like those are the ones that are trying to. I'm not saying that the rest aren't. That is not what I'm getting at. But
Yeah,
I'm going over here. I'm going to get paid more, but I need to put on a show to even. So I'm going to put everything I got into it anyway. So that's at least that's what I think about that. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Well, right on. We'll touch some more on some of your shit here, Mike. I know you've got some stuff coming up you want to talk about and things like that. But before we get to all that, we do have some things that have happened in the sports world here over the last 2-3 days since we
Yeah.
last met.
Yeah.
So let's kick into that, Jimmer.
All right. So here's a funny one for you, or maybe it's not funny, depending on which way you go. PETA wants MLB to rename bullpen to arm
Oh,
barn,
I
saying
saw that.
term mocks the misery of sensitive animals.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny, and just leave baseball alone, Peter. Come on, like
Come on,
leave it
man.
alone. Shit.
Yeah. That's stupid as hell, but arm barn's kind of badass, though. Isn't
It is kind of.
I
It is,
feel
Like,
like
I
yeah.
appreciate you. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But
What they
The
come
reason
back
why you
with,
don't-
right? The reason is horrible, but what
Yeah.
they come back with and
Yeah.
pitch was actually neat and kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's not horrible, right?
arm barn.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you have people with no limbs that'll start having a fucking
Yeah,
offense
they'll
to
get
that.
offended too. No
Good
shit.
God. Cade Cunningham, the number 1 overall pick in the Pistons, returns to practice and is set to make his NBA debut this Saturday.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, how he gels to the NBA game, a full NBA game and players across the court. Electric, explosive coming out of college. I think it'll be cool to watch him work. Now, I don't know. It'll be several years, I think, for Detroit can put some pieces
Man,
around
well,
him.
Well, maybe not. They got Luka Garza, baby.
Oh, okay.
They do
Get
have
out
guys
of
that-
here.
That's true. Future Hall of Famer,
Yeah,
you think? Okay.
possibly. There's a high possibility.
Hey, it's evened up now. He's an Iowa State fan, so
right.
Yeah.
No shit. We don't hate on Iowa State, though. That's
no,
all right.
unless they're facing Iowa.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. Playing each other.
There you go.
Yep. Jonathan Ward of the Cardinals was carted off the field after a scary kickoff return collision. I don't know if you guys saw that.
No.
He ran into Kylan Williams of the Packers, and this dude was down.
yeah.
So Kylan was ended up with a knee injury because that's where he got hit. But
Tore ACL, I think.
it should have done
Yep.
something the way he got hit. But Jonathan Ward dropped instantly and looked like
It was scary.
Lights were out and wasn't moving.
Yep.
that's tough as a football fan, because a kick return, for a touchdown is one of the most electric plays in football.
Yep.
At the same time, players are bigger, faster than they've ever been before, right? So, I wasn't against when they moved the kickoff, back when they did it. And, you see stuff like that, and you don't want to take kickoffs out of the game, and punt returns and stuff like that.
Can I cut in now?
Go
Please,
ahead.
For the
Go
love
ahead.
of God.
Go ahead.
This is exactly why we need to get rid of the fucking kicker.
Oh,
Here we
Oh,
go.
this
This is
fantasy
exactly
wise,
why.
okay, fantasy.
You just get
Here we
rid of the
go. Okay.
kickoff.
Now
start
you're
them
just
off
being
at the
selfish.
25. I am being selfish. You're damn
But-
right.
But yeah, no, I
He
understand.
did. He did move. He did wave his hand while they carted him
Yeah.
off.
That's
so
good.
it
Good
showed-
for him.
So it showed that he had movement in his extremities at least.
Yeah, so I don't know if you're going to get to a news and notes. So there were 2 torn ACLs in that game.
Oh yeah, Robert
Oh.
Tanyan.
Yeah,
Tanyan.
Tanyan. And
Yep.
that's tough. Speaking of that game, shout out John Ramos. You started Cobb. I told you one of them would have a
Saw
big
that.
game,
Yep.
so you are welcome.
2 tutties, right?
Yeah, 2
Not many
tutties.
yards, but 2
Hold
tutties.
on.
Yeah, he
Hold
only
on.
had like 4 targets.
No,
Yeah.
3 receptions, 15
Yeah.
yards,
15 yards, that's
2
right.
touchdowns.
He only got 4 targets. I was like, what the hell? Aaron Jones had 10 last time I looked.
He did.
That's crazy.
I'm like, good God. 5-star basketball recruit Mikey Williams signs Puma nil deal, becoming the first high school player
Jesus
to
Christ.
sign with a major sneaker company.
What's the deal?
I didn't. They didn't
They
put out
haven't
at the
said?
time.
Okay.
They didn't put out yet at the time as of a couple hours ago how much it was. But a major sneaker deal like that, it's not gonna be chump change. That's for damn certain.
Yeah.
Oh no! Then how is this not like
It's
illegal?
so fucked up. Jesus.
This is for my family. I think that's what. Like, I'm all for this. Don't get me wrong. Of like people getting paid. There's nothing to do with any of that. But tell me this isn't gonna lean something for recruiting or just shady area.
I don't know, I'd lean towards that. What was that other cat? He had a BMW deal. Was there a...
Oh yeah.
I think I'd take the Beamer over the
Was it? A
Or was it
BMW?
a-
Mercedes.
No,
it was something...
No, it was
No,
a
it was-
Porsche.
Yeah.
Porsche. Yeah, you're right.
Porsche.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yep, I'll take that. I'll take that over the shoe deal. But regardless, Jesus.
These deals are gonna get bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Here's one. Roger Goodell made nearly $128 million over the past 2 fiscal years, which was made up of about 90% bonus. Is from his bonuses. Evidently, doing that 10-year deal, collective bargaining agreement, got him a huge chunk of that bonuses, and then getting the TV deal.
We're in the wrong business.
$128 million. Oh, the NFL players may be in the wrong business because I'm coming to that too. He is making significantly more than any NFL player. The highest paid player is Dak Prescott at $75 million
Over
that 2-year
2 years.
pay
2 years.
period.
Yeah.
TJ Watt is the second closest at $36 million.
Yikes.
Jesus.
Big change,
I'm
right?
just unless they're bringing what's that dude from the commercials? That linebacker. Remember that? We used to get shown it at work all the time. He used to come and just level people.
Oh yeah.
The commercial. God damn it. Tate? Something Tate. It was an old commercial where he
Yeah,
just come
old.
in and like you do something stupid and he just like you're in the office
Yeah.
and this dude would tackle you.
He laid
Okay.
you out.
So I'm just curious if they got that because Roger Goodell, last time I knew, ain't getting tackled and you're getting 128 mil. You're not an owner of the
It
team.
must be
of the
nice.
team.
It
though.
must be nice to fuck the game up and make more money. So
Yeah, no kidding.
yeah, he's a bum.
Mahomes tells his teammates that he has to get better and feels he is the blame for the Kansas City's 3-4 start.
Well, he doesn't play defense, so it's not entirely on him. He is playing worse,
He could, so maybe it is on him.
so he could absolutely play better. But if the defense could stop somebody,
Yeah.
Yeah, Patrick
you know.
Mahomes, you are
This is
not misinformed.
This is what
Okay.
he's supposed to say, right?
yeah, absolutely. As a
regardless.
leader of the
Yeah.
team,
As a
as a
leader
leader of the
team is what you're
team, you
supposed to
say
say.
this, but it's not all on him. Yes, he could absolutely play better. He's made some bad plays, right? We talked about the interceptions up this year and just bonehead plays, right? Yes, but as a leader of the team, you need to say this. However, that defense does need to get better too.
Yeah, the defense has been shitty for ever since he's been there, though. So you're right now. Everybody and their mom calls you the best quarterback in the NFL. You own this.
Mm-hmm.
This is on you, regardless.
Yep.
So he's definitely right. So fucking make some changes, but don't do it this weekend. I got the Giants covering, so don't do
Right.
that.
Absolutely. J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt had 4 injuries: a torn labrum, torn biceps, torn rotator cuff, and a dislocated shoulder, but still finished the game. He will likely be out for the year, though.
What did we just talk about?
Jeez. Yeah, literally the other day. Yeah.
Yeah, we just talked about injury prone,
Yeah.
and I was like, "When do you retire?" Because your body. But Jimmer made a great statement, right? He goes, when teams fucking stop paying him $20 million, I was like,
100%.
you're not wrong.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
who cares? I'll blow my
Jeez,
ACL.
I can't believe you finished
I'll blow
the
my
game.
ACL out just to get 20 mil, dude.
Right. He had to make,
Yes,
he had to make
done.
it 6 games. That's all.
Yeah.
6 games, 20 mil. Fuck
Yeah.
Unless you
Take
have
my
to
ACL, son.
Unless you have to tackle Derrick Henry for 6 straight games.
Oh, for 6 straight games? I don't know. 20
I'll
mils.
try.
I'll try. I'll try my
Once.
damnedest.
Once.
Right? I may get lucky, trip him up, grab him by the shoelaces.
It's got to
right?
be a guaranteed contract. Some getting dropped, I'm sure.
Hair's
So,
fair game now, right? I'll get on that.
Damn right. Yeah.
Melvin Ingram wants out of Pittsburgh. Chiefs made offer for disgruntled pass rusher, but Pitt would prefer to work with the NFC team.
I saw that come across, and that I don't know which side it was, but somebody floated the Cowboys, with our one good pass rusher being get out of here. Our one what's his name? We only have Randy Gregory anyways, but
DeMarcus Lawrence.
DeMarcus Lawrence, yes. So with DeMarcus Lawrence being out and stuff, somebody brought that up going there. I don't know what we'd have to give up. Like I said, I think Michael Gallup gets traded at some point, so maybe something there. But I don't know.
Well, the first team that offered was the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And that's why they said, no, it's not going to be an AFC team.
Well,
So-
they said they prefer to work.
prefer,
Like, so
yeah.
if nobody in the NFC, which they will, there's somebody always looking for edge rusher, so they'll work something out with somebody.
Yeah.
This one's a little more building on the Blackhawks scandal.
Ooh.
Joel Queenville resigns as Florida Panthers coach in wake of the Blackhawks sexual abuse case. Blackhawks owner Rocky Wirtz wrote a letter to the Hockey Hall of Fame asking for the name of the former video coach Aldrich to be removed from the Stanley Cup. Aldrich is the one that did this sexual assault. So
Don't you own the Stanley Cup now? So can't you go and have somebody?
no. So that's a pass around trophy.
Oh, that one is in hockey.
Huh? Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah.
didn't realize that. I thought you had
year round it gets passed around throughout. Usually a
Okay,
city,
maybe I
big
forgot that.
figures, stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So what did the Florida coach have to do with this, though? I'm confused. On
He
that.
was the coach at the time.
He was
with the
their coach.
Blackhawks.
Okay.
In 2010. Yep.
Got it.
Don't know if we need to go much further than that. I forgot the dude's name, by the way. Evidently, he made an emotional video and named himself in that. You remember when I brought up the John Doe part? He came out and actually named himself and got a little emotional because he was massive amount of emotions running through him after all this, and they
Yeah.
finally actually
And it's out
used him.
there.
Yeah, it's out there.
Oh.
People are getting punished for what happened, and
So, Mike, what we're talking about right now, I don't know if you know about this. Do you know much about hockey at all?
No, my dad watches it though, but
Okay. There's this. What the hell was this title?
A video
coach?
video coach for
Something that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For Chicago, who was so there were a couple guys brought up, right?
Yeah, for the playoff run. Kind of like in baseball, basketball, they bring up a player from their minor league system just before something's about to happen. So they called this young cat up.
Yeah.
And you basically practice is what it is, but maybe you spot start or spot play, but
Yeah, Chicago had the title was like video coach, something weird that doesn't even make sense. But basically, he pulled a Sandusky kind of thing, Penn State, right?
yep.
So he was taking advantage of that young kid's situation, and now it's come out, and it's turning into a big deal for Chicago. But
because it didn't, he went directly to management, coaches, said something when it happened. Nobody did or said anything about it, and finally. Yeah, and they had this dude parading around with a trophy when they won it that year. The same video guy. He's like that's what hurt him the most. So
Yeah.
but yeah,
Crazy.
it's messed up.
it's not talked about enough. I'd have killed that dude.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That just. Let's see. There was no. Oh no, we're not there. Okay, yeah. Minnesota man was charged Thursday with trying to extort $150,000 from the MLB. As he illegally streamed copyrighted content from the major professional sports leagues online. So,
Hold on, what was the website?
right,
What was the
jot her
website?
down. Well, the funny thing about this, so I I popped this open.
Just kidding,
Actually,
MLB. Just kidding.
Yeah, I popped it open. Actually read this up, and this guy, like, what he was extorting them, like, why he was trying to get $150,000 is he's like trying to show their infrastructure of their network is really bad or something like that. Like, I could do way worse damage. So if you don't pay me $150,000, that's what's gonna happen.
Oh shit.
So he ratted himself.
Right? What?
Right.
You are a bad criminal, sir.
You are
a bad criminal. If anything,
Yeah, I
ask
just
for
go
$1 million at least. Like, act like you got something good,
Right,
not 150. What's that for an MLB team? They're like,
this eerily reminds me of a guy at work for his bottom dollar. Like, dude, when he add a zero to that, bro.
yeah, Kyle Winters, shout out to you, buddy.
Right. There was no structural damage found in Denver Nuggets center and reigning NBA MVP Jokic's knee. Jokic suffered a right knee contusion late in the second quarter Tuesday night against the Jazz. Sigh of relief.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what that is.
Yeah, it's good for that second round playoff exit. So
Ooh.
they're paying a lot of money to
Yikes.
not do shit this year. So.
Dude, I don't know. They might have done some damage last year if Jamal Murray would have been healthy for that playoffs.
All right, so get
Maybe.
the pieces back,
Maybe.
and
We won't know.
like I said, they've always been that sneaky team, hard one to kick out of the playoffs, right?
So I have 2 more smaller ones. I have a big one, so we'll go to the smaller ones first.
Okay.
Rams and wide receiver Deshaun Jackson have mutually agreed to seek trade partner.
Yeah. Are you even trading for him?
Yeah, who's gonna try?
Who's
it?
it? I did like you're still
Right.
in the league, dude. There's
Wait
plenty
for
of
him.
fast-ass
Wait for him to get
receivers.
cut, and if you want to pick him up, which who wants to pick him up, because that Rams offense is explosive, right? And he's not putting up the numbers,
And he's also a guy that only plays like 6 games a year when he is.
right?
So-
And he runs one route
right.
Straight.
straight down the
Yep.
field.
Let me
Yep.
run my 4-3 straight to the end zone.
That's what Mike Wallace did too.
Yep.
Made him a few
Yeah.
million.
Yeah.
Yep.
Baker Mayfield expected to start versus Steelers despite having torn labrum and a shoulder fracture.
Jesus Christ.
So this goes back to what we were talking about, right? Like that signed, sealed, delivered. That obviously Cleveland doesn't have the respect for you.
Mm-hmm.
So my next question for you is how would you feel if you're Case Keenum? Like, you're willing to throw a dude with a fractured shoulder out there and torn labrum. I didn't do anything to lose the game. We won the game last week, and you're not going to throw me in at least to protect
Right,
your-
and you get Chubb back.
Yeah.
Why not just roll with them out? Let him try to get healthy. Lean on your run game
this
like you
tells
do.
me clearly, right?
Right. Yeah, they obviously don't give a shit. Like,
Yeah.
I want to know what. So the medical staff cleared him, but where they're like, yeah, he can play, but like, was it kind of one of those? Because what that tells me is this team is desperate. Like, they are not confident they're going to win the games they need to get to the playoffs.
So
Like, I don't think
here's-
you should feel that way if you're the Browns, man.
I think you're close. I think we talked about the Bengals being much better this year than we expected, right? Leading the division. Baltimore's up there. I think they're feeling like crap. We're about to be left in the dust if we don't do something. Let's get that guy out there.
But a game, like one game. This isn't like your Dallas game we talked about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Dallas has a chance to get the 1 seed and that type of thing. This is one game that you probably should win, even without Baker.
And you
Why the fuck would you risk it?
Yeah.
Like, at least give
Why
him
would
another
he?
game.
Yeah,
Something.
why would he? He's in a contract.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I get that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I said the same thing as you, right? Like, it seems like they're in like panic mode.
Mm-hmm.
If they're like, we have to start our starter. Even though he's
Right,
banged up.
we're
Like,
about
I
to be
don't think-
left behind. If we
Yeah.
don't, we've got to get some wins. But then it comes back to Keenum didn't do anything to lose the game. You get your running back. Why not go in there, lean on your run game, make Keenum throw safe passes?
Keenum played just like Baker does, so I don't know. There wasn't a lot of volume. He didn't do shit with the
I
ball.
can play like Baker does.
You're right. So that's my point, right? So it's
Yeah.
not a.
Right.
So that
Yeah,
goes
I
back to
think
they don't
it's-
give a
yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
they're
They don't
not
care.
invested. So
All right. So here's
is this
I had-
it?
yeah.
Here we go. Is this
No.
the big one? You said the big
This
one.
is I'm just saying it's. So I put in. This is gonna be a long reading right here, because the headline would not be good enough, I guess. So, a suspended Virginia Tech linebacker accused in fatal beating of a Tinder match has been indicted on charge of second-degree murder.
Why?
Well, we're getting there, big guy. Just wait. There's more. I'm going to slaughter the first name. A Simeon Etut. He's 18. Who is accused in the death of Jerry Smith, who was 40. Jerry Smith is a guy's name?
Maybe.
Okay.
Hold on. Maybe. It is
Maybe.
2021.
It is 2021.
I'm interested.
Who was 40 in May, was indicted by a grand jury Tuesday. The Roanoke Times reported a hearing is scheduled for November 18th. So this is where we get to the details of this. Etut said he visited Smith's apartment in April after he was matched with someone named Angie.
Okay, so that is not Jerry.
Is
That's
it maybe a nickname. Okay, we're not anywhere
names?
yet.
pet
okay,
names.
yeah,
Okay, all right,
yeah.
hold on.
That could be.
Yeah.
Someone named Angie on Tinder and returned May 31st to determine whether his match was male or female.
Oh, and it turned out to be male.
We got
Attorneys
hoodwinked.
and witnesses said at earlier hearings, a detective testified and Etut groped Smith and used his phone's flashlight. Remember, Etut is the player. Groped Smith and used his phone's flashlight to get a better look in the dark apartment before repeatedly punching the victim.
Holy shit! So they got that close. So they were almost getting it.
Evidently, it was dark, and he still
God.
didn't know it was a dude until he started feeling around.
Oh, yikes.
The medical examiner's office said Smith died from blunt force trauma to the head. This 18-year-old beat him so bad.
Okay.
So I'm not chuckling at that. I'm just
right.
like,
So
for fuck's sake.
that is messed up. I get being angry that he's hoodwinked, right? But you can't. I mean, right? It's a catfish situation.
yes.
Maybe one shot, maybe
But-
to the nose
right?
or something. And
Yeah,
then-
something like that, but not beat him to death.
Yeah, to death.
I mean, you just ruined your future right now. And we talked about Neil deals. I mean, you had all that probably going on or available to yourself, and then a future in the NFL potentially. So yes, I get the understanding of being angry at first, but to beat a guy to death over it.
Hey,
Yeah.
no offense, but what the fuck are you using Tinder for at the age of 18 in college?
Yeah, and you're
At a big
baller.
university.
At a big
Yeah.
university,
At a big
too.
university.
It isn't like we're rocking Nyack here.
Right. It's not Waldorf or Nyack or something,
Yeah.
where the pickings are slim.
right. No, I do. Okay, so I laugh.
Where the pickings are slim? What the
Where
hell
the
is that?
pickings are slim. Well, I'm talking about
Taking a shot at-
student body wise to date someone or
Oh,
whatever.
I thought you were just
Yeah.
talking like some Texas versus
No, no,
Iowa
no.
shit.
We'd beat that ass. But anyways, I'm talking just like a potential to date. You got Virginia Tech who has
Yeah,
Nope.
it's
thousands
a way
of students.
bigger complex.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I get it. The story is sort of funny just because of the catfish situation, but then the ultimate ending, like, bro,
Like, what
okay,
the fuck? Yeah.
whoop him up real quick if you're that mad, but then you got to bail. You
Yep.
can't. You just ruined everything, man. You're done now. Like,
Mhm.
so he was convicted or is indicted. Is that the?
He's
Yeah.
indicted.
He's indicted. Okay.
So that means he'll
They'll
be going through
to court and everything.
Yep.
Damn.
On that catfish note, shout out Bulldog. The inside joke.
Oh no, it might not be the inside.
Well,
he's on
yeah.
number 3, I think. now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Classy.
Damn.
So that's all I have for news.
Alrighty. All right, Rio. So what else, man? What do we got now?
All right, we're going to jump into some MMA action, and we're going to go through the cards, some big cards through the rest of the year, and we'll cover some fights that I brought up that everybody will know, and we'll talk about it and who we like and who we'd take. So for tomorrow night, we have a belt going up. So excuse us, first off, let me say, might slaughter some of these names coming up.
100% will.
Fighters from
Yeah, we will.
fighters from all over the world. We're gonna slaughter some names, but so Jan Blanchowicz,
Blackwitz.
yeah,
Blackwitz.
he's the champ, 28-8 versus Glover Teixeira, 32-7. What do you think, Mike? Well, who you taking here?
I'm going to take Jan, last name Crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Last
Jan. I'm
name
thinking
Crazy.
the same thing.
Isn't that the one that beat Adesanya, right? Yeah, but it was like the only loss on.
Yeah,
Way-
maybe
way back,
way
yeah.
back.
Yep.
And he just
Maybe.
kept getting on top of him. Good
Okay.
game plan and strategy. But Glover, like, he's getting older too, I guess, and I don't know. Jan's like, he's got that fire still, that grind.
Yeah, I think the same thing. Glover's getting older. Everybody says he fights boring fights and stuff like that. I think he gets beat here. I'm glad he got a shot. Obviously, of course, anything can happen in a fight, but I think it does go Jan's way ultimately.
Agreed.
You know, younger fighter, more powerful.
Yeah, he's
Jan's a stud.
I was gonna look that up quick. Yeah, Blackwitz is the favorite in this, minus 300 to plus 240. I would go the same route too.
Yeah,
I mean,
he throws up a lot of damage. You know, almost 4 significant strikes per minute, and with almost 50% accuracy rate. So he can put up a lot of damage, right?
Yeah,
and fast. So
Agreed.
That'll be crazy. I don't even know if it's gonna be a good fight. Honestly, I think he may just mess him up in the first. So
that quick.
Calling it. All right.
Yeah.
That quick.
A couple good fights here. Staying on the same card, Peter Yan. You know, he just got disqualified, had the belt, disqualified, right? Illegal knee.
Even though he was winning the whole
he was
time.
winning. He's beating the crap out of him.
Yeah, didn't you say he's whooping his ass?
He was whooping his ass. And illegal knee, and Aljamain Sterling ended up with the belt. So was hoping to see them fight. I believe Sterling got an injury, had to pull out of this one. So Corey Sandhagen ended up stepping in. He's 14-3. Peter Yan 15-2. I think this will be an amazing fight on the feet.
Totally agree. Fight of the night.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Yan is a favorite here, and I do like him. I think he's a stud. I also like Sandhagen, though.
I'm a big Sandman fan.
Yeah,
dude.
me too. And I would probably bet this way. I don't know if I'd put crazy amount of money on it, but bet this way for the sheer fact, too, that it's, you know, he's going to be the underdog as well. I think it'll be a good stand-up fight.
Is this a interim fight, or is this just for number one?
Is this an interim title, right?
I'm not sure the interim or not. It may be he just wanted to fight because I believe it was Sterling's. They were going to fight for the belt, and then he had to pull out, and I think he just wanted to fight.
He faked his injury.
Probably, yeah.
He looked fine.
He's hurt now, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I don't
keep
know.
that title as long as possible.
Well, he turned into kind of a bitch after that, right? So he started off pretty humble, like, oh, you know, I won it by TQ, and then totally flipped it.
Oh, yeah, he's
and
like,
acted
I'm the
like he
champ,
earned it. Yeah,
this and
like,
that.
Listen, no, you were getting your ass rocked that whole fight.
Yeah, look at the scorecards.
And that
when
rule's
they come
stupid
out.
as fuck anyway.
Yes and no. I mean, I think
Safety,
I think don't let anybody take it. You just come back and fight again.
Usually, well, like we talked about this before. Usually, most of the men like
John Jones versus
Lionheart.
Lionheart. What's his name? The Lionheart.
That was an elbow, right? Wasn't
Anthony
that
Smith.
Anthony Smith.
Anthony Smith. But that's the. And then there was I thought wasn't there like a eye jab or, either way. My point is, it was up to him and what he say. He's like, no, this is.
I didn't earn it.
I didn't earn that. We're gonna bang it out still. Like I'm still gonna finish this fight. Like I'm not gonna. And don't get me wrong. There could be like some extreme circumstances where I'm like, yeah, you know, I probably can't finish. You know, like I don't know, you gouge an eyeball out or some shit. But you know, at the end of the thing, especially if it seemed like it was unintentional, or just like the motion of the fight, you know, like shit's just kind of going that way. Usually dudes just stand up and let's go ahead and finish this, you know, like accidents happen. We're still rolling. I'm not knocked out by it, you know. But.
Well, the fact that he lost the belt to it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's tough. I don't know
who you got in this.
Yep.
For the Peter Yan?
Yep.
Oh, I got Peter.
Yeah, Peter.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, but I think it'll be a good scrap, though. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good fight on the feet, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So keep on rolling here. Same card. Islam Makhachev 21 versus Dan Hooker 21-10. Just a little note. Dan Hooker, I believe, is from Australia, and Australia with the COVID rules, right? Before you can come back in the country, you've got to quarantine for like a crazy amount of time, right? So he gets done with his last fight, and he's quarantining so he can go back home, see his family, and he's got wife and kids. And then he accepts this fight, right, on short notice. So that's going to mean he's not going to see his kids and family for, like, I think they said months. And because he's taken the fight camp, he's got to stay out of Australia. So, and yeah, it's a crazy story. Anyways, Islam, he's 21. Dan Hooker, 21-10. I don't know. I do like Dan Hooker. I did bet against him when he fought Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler ended up knocking him out, you know, real quick. So I'm leaning to, You know, that 21 is a strong look, but let's look at Khabib's record, right? All them fights he was undefeated, but some of those you look at the beginning fights, absolutely nobody that even has made it as well.
I was gonna say one of the few things that Connor was right about, like when he was actually chewing him up about
right.
this. He's like, hold on, you guys sit there and blow this record and go look at his earlier fights. His first, what was it like? His first, I swear to God, it was like double digits. His 10 to 12 fights.
Yeah.
It was like, and don't get me wrong, everyone works their way up and all that. I get that, but like you can't sit here and say, hey, that's, yeah. I'm gonna go Dan Hooker on this one just because the story you said. If you were pulling yourself from your family, God. I just mean that that's all you're doing then. So when I was on the road doing construction, I would work nonstop overtime.
Yeah,
nonstop. If it was there, we were going. I'm like, I'm on the road for one reason, right? And I think that's the same concept here. This guy is going to. He's like, I'm here for one reason, and I'm gonna train and bang. I like it.
Yeah, I'm rolling through these earlier fights. He did have a loss in his second UFC fight. It doesn't show their record, but a guy I don't know. And all the guys before that, nothing. He beats Chris Wade, who I know, Nick Lentz, who I know. Some guys I don't know, Drew Dober. There's some it's not impressive.
So maybe that record's a little skewed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe it might be a little padded here.
I feel confident with it.
Mike, what do you think?
I got Islam.
100%.
Yeah.
Let's go. He's going to destroy him in the first round. Is what's going to happen.
First round.
Yeah, he's going to destroy
There's
him.
There's not
quick.
a first round swag going
Yikes.
on
Yeah.
right now.
In the first.
I like Hooker. I do. I like him as a fighter, but Islam is so good. Plus, he's got a little bit of that Khabib in him. He's a Russian fighter too, so he trains different, and he's just a fucking gangster, dude. I'm 100%, no question.
All right.
He better win because he's leaving his family. So now he's got drive. Otherwise, his wife's like, hey, you ain't coming back home.
Right.
That's right.
That's funny.
That's right.
I only fuck winners.
Oh, man. That's all I have on that card. Yeah, there's obviously other fights. Rolling along, Bellator 270 on November 5th. Only a couple of fights to touch on here. And this first one, I don't know the first guy, Peter Queally, 13-5-1 versus Pitbull, 23-10. Like I said, I don't know the first guy. Hard to bet against Pitbull. Probably leaning that way myself. I don't know if you know the first guy.
I know, but I'm going to take Pitbull.
Yeah, Pitbull's he's an animal, and I think he's going to go out and just do his thing.
Yeah, I would bet there too, just because of the name. I've seen him fight.
Yeah.
I don't recognize the first guy at all.
Yeah, some of these Bellator ones, you're gonna maybe know one guy and not the other one.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
The next one, James Gallagher, an Irish kid, 11-1, versus this kid. How about this first name, Patchy? Patchy Mix, 14-1. That's pretty interesting.
I'm going with Patchy Mix just because of the name.
Just
again.
because of the name. Yeah, I'm rolling with James Gallagher.
Yeah. That has to be Irish, right?
Yeah, it has to
It's
be,
gotta
right?
be. It's gotta
Patchy?
be. Patchy?
Who names their kid Patchy except for a drunk Irish guy, right? Just straight out the bar to the hospital. And
where the wife, probably where the wife left after the kid was born, left it with the drunken dad.
Oh, shit.
So
James Gallagher, too.
I'm leaning James Gallagher myself. Like I said, I don't know Patchy, but so that's kind of what we got. Moving on. November 6th, UFC 268. This will be a good card.
This card.
We have two title fights here. The first one, let's touch on it. Kamaru Usman, champ, 19-1 versus Colby Covington, 16-2. A little tidbit that I heard today. Colby said before he fought Usman, or when he was going to fight him, before he won the belt, the UFC said they were not going to re-sign him. They're going to let him go after that fight, and or the fight before he fought for the belt, right? They were going to cut him, right? And the fact was because he was boring and he couldn't sell. He wasn't a character, like Conor is. He's almost like promotes and stuff. So I've always felt Kobe's a douchebag, right? He's coming out and saying all this crap and trying to hype himself up too much. But then I hear that, today, and it's
so
like
maybe his hand was forced.
Yeah, maybe his hands was forced to try to build his let's call it a brand maybe, right? And build himself up so people either hate him or we talk about Dallas Cowboys, right? People either love you or hate you, and that's why everybody tunes in to watch the game, see if you lose or root for you. I think kind of the same thing here. And so I kind of changed my mind once I heard him say that. Kind of changed my mind about him. Like, you know what? Maybe, yeah, exactly. The UFC kind of forced his hand to create this I'm a bad guy persona to help, push sales and want people to watch me, and, I'm going to take Usman again. They are both wrestlers, but I think that it'll play out on their feet. Kobe,
they hate each other.
Yeah,
too
they
much.
hate each other. They want to put their hands on each other.
This isn't necessarily about a UFC match. This is like we're gonna bang.
Well, also Kobe got his jaw broken last time, so Kobe's gonna want to repay the favor, right? So I'm leaning Usman still. What do you think?
Usman's a bad
He
man.
is,
a bad man.
I don't get how he makes that weight, but yeah, he is a stud.
He is, and I'm still gonna go Covington on this one.
Okay.
I'm going to agree with you. I got Covington. The last fight was actually pretty good until
that job.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
That fight was
damn good fight.
Yeah. I don't know. I could say I'd take Kobe. I think maybe a finish at the end or something. Just might be the tables have turned.
Okay.
I don't know. Just a guess.
You think it goes to distance then?
Yeah, I think it'll end in the third.
End in third.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
They're going 5 rounds though, right?
Yeah. Oh, so
let's do maybe end in the 5th or the 4th. Let the championship rounds.
A late round finish.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Colby is by far Kamaro's toughest competition in that weight class.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's close. He's the only one that's fought him close. And it was
And
fuck. If
was
that
he
jaw
not
didn't get
leading?
broken, this shit. Yeah,
Was
it was
he not
really
leading,
even, man.
like it was either even or was
Yeah.
Kobe even leading in that before he broke his jaw?
Yeah.
I remember
was
watching.
tough,
I remember
man. It was a
watching
really
it.
good
That's
fight.
what I'm
Yeah.
getting at.
Yeah.
It felt like it was.
Nobody's fought Usman that good.
No.
Nobody has. And he knows it. He recognizes it. It's so hard to bet against Usman.
It is.
But I think this time I'm going to give Kobe the edge. I think this has fight of the year potential. Like these two would match up so well.
Yep.
They know each other. They fucking hate each other.
Oh yeah.
This is going to be awesome. I'd give him the slight edge. I don't know. It could be one of those. He just beats him just enough, but I don't know. Like, I don't know how it goes. Even if you beat him by a hair, you still take the belt, right?
Yeah.
If the
Yeah.
judges call it, you still take the belt.
Right.
So,
And
yeah.
Unless it's like a draw or something.
so a
But
little
if it's
stat.
close, if that's what you're trying to get at, if it's close, what I think what
if
you're
it's
trying
close,
to
I think they end up calling it a draw.
they usually give it. They usually give
Well,
it back
if
to
it's
the
a draw,
champ.
then
Yeah.
the champ just keeps
The
it.
Yeah,
champ.
exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, like even in the judge's mind, like, hey, this is pretty damn close. Like
Yeah.
even when they're scoring it, they'll be like, you know what? It's still like, if it was that close, you just keep it with the champ at that point,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
You should
Right.
like when you fight a champ, they always say like kind of like the old boxer days, like you really got to put it to him to be like the champ. If you know
Right.
what I mean.
Yep.
You got to not only beat him, you got to beat the judges too if it goes
Pretty much, yeah.
that
Yep.
way. A little stat I did see when pulling up this fight and kind of looking into it that on the rematches, 70% of the time, the guy who won the first time wins again. Also, 70% of the time, the champ usually wins. So, just kind of something interesting to think
Makes
about.
sense.
Yeah.
So, staying on this card, another title fight, Thug Rose, champ, 11-4 versus it's a rematch. Zhang Weili, 21-2.
You're not slaughtering these as bad as you're making it
Okay,
sound.
all
You
right.
slaughtered Blackowitz.
Yang.
Whatever. I'm rolling with Thug, man. I think she totally changed her, after that one fight and it come out and she had all these emotions built up and crashed and kind of took some time off. I think this is a new Thug Rose that we're seeing and she's just going to take her out. And I think she's going to finish her too.
Thug Rose,
Thug Rose, baby.
I'm on the train.
Mm-hmm. That's where I'm going.
Zinc.
All
Ooh,
right.
There we go.
Okay.
All right.
You think a finish? You think she
Everybody's-
can finish her
Yeah, TKO. I'll call.
or TKO?
It has to
Okay.
be, right?
Round.
If she's going to win, it probably has to be, right?
She does have power in her hands. I've watched.
Zing's like a beast, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she is. She is.
She's kind of big and she's got some power, on her upper body and her hands. So I could see possibly that, but I'm rolling with Rose myself.
She's tough too. Yep.
Who was the who did Yang fight? That was like, I think it was fight of the year last year, right? It was a Polish.
Yeah.
Joanna.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
okay.
was one of my favorite fights
That
of
was
all
an
time,
awesome
dude.
fight. I can't wait to see her get back in.
It wasn't her skull like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, dented.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
looked like like an alien.
Yeah, and so and she has what's Thailand fighting with knees and elbows, Muay Thai. She's a Muay Thai background, so for her to get beat up like that on her feet was real surprising to me.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, a lot of power there. Staying on this card, Justin Gaethje, 22-3 versus Mike Chandler, 22-6. I think we talked about this a while ago. I'm rolling Mike Chandler, wrestler. I think he's going to do what I think Justin should have done his entire career and take him down and try to beat him up a little bit. It'll go a little bit on his feet, but it's a dangerous game because Justin's got some crazy kicks. So I think you kind of want to stay away from that slugfest. And I think he uses his wrestling, and I think he goes the distance. I think Justin's too tough to put away, and Chandler does have that power. But like I said, I think he goes eventually to his wrestling to stay away from the kicks and the power of Justin. So I'm leaning that way to bet Michael Chandler myself.
Oh, Justin Gaethje all day. I mean, if I could give you an over analysis, I could try.
Yeah, give me a lie. Like you can't just be like.
Outside of Khabib and him getting your famous words mauled.
That is not only mine. What do we say? Joe Rogan said it. Some other people.
Yeah. But watching him fight prior to that one, and I don't know if he got when he stepped in the octagon with I just said his name. Jesus.
Khabib.
When he stepped in there, it might have been a little intimidating. Like the one time you actually walk up in there and the confidence you may have had up to that point kind of just gets sucked out of you. Like this is a dude that has killed his last 15 opponents, where it's not even close, right? Before that match, this dude was on fire and he did every bit of it. He finally learned to not exert himself and waste all of his energy in the first round or two, just going nuts, and then you're just drained, and then you slip up. He beat himself in his outside of Khabib. He beat himself in his 2 losses. He has 3 total, but he had 2 losses before that. I believe he beat himself in those 2.
Right, he punches and hits so hard,
exactly.
Trying to knock you out that he wastes so much energy.
That's what I'm getting at. So instead of pacing yourself and just taking what is there, instead of just trying to.
Well, one of those losses,
it's like a home run swing every time.
Yeah, you're totally right. One of those losses wasn't Conor. One of those losses, though, too. That was when Conor was on fire, and Gaethje was still coming up. So I don't think Gaethje was near, where he is now either. Yep. You're totally right, though. You catch people at the wrong time sometimes too, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
There was the coach that Justin Gaethje has now. I guess he's a good MMA and striking coach and stuff. But you remember how Justin used to throw his right leg kick all the time, but it would always land. And then he was he's a brawler, and people want to see that. But I guess they said they're trying to get him away from that, so he is starting to look cleaner and better. I agree with Chris about the wrestling thing with Michael Chandler and stuff like that. And then Michael Chandler lost to Charles Oliveira or whatever.
That
he
got
crazy.
rocked, and
I thought Michael was actually going to win. I was rooting for him.
Yeah, that was.
I was so hard in those Bellator ranks, So
I know, and he knocked Hooker out in
a
minute or whatever, and I'm like, oh yeah, dude, he's just gonna roll through this guy.
Yeah.
And because Charles, he's had weight cutting issues, right? So he always sucks weight, and it seems to run out of gas. And I'm like, clip him once, his gas tank's gonna be gone, and it surprised me.
Yep, I think it's just Michael Chandler was kind of pressing the old Justin Gaethje.
Yeah.
And then that's how he got,
that's a good
finish. So,
yep.
But I got Michael Chandler. I think I'll go in late rounds. Yep.
You see a finish, a knockout, TKO?
TKO for Michael Chandler.
Okay.
Probably just be too much pressure, and then just punches and stuff.
Yep.
And the ref
I see it going the same way.
So you guys mentioned Chandler's wrestling.
Yep.
Right. When Gaethje started, that was his background, right?
So that's what I've always said.
What's funny because he doesn't.
He never uses it, and
that's true.
And I think that's what's going to be, what shortens his career in MMA is that him not using that wrestling and wanting to brawl for all these years, and amazing as fans, right? We love that shit, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, awesome! He's banging, standing, and smashing people, and they're swinging, going crazy. But as you look down further the road, it's like, man, you should have probably used a little more wrestling. You could have beat people, because you're going to have the power no matter, even if you take somebody down, you're on top of them, just beating on them, right? Same power. And so, yeah, I don't know. I just think it's going to shorten his career a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay active with like jiu-jitsu and wrestling, and because a lot of people know like the same thing, so you always got to level up. Like, okay, well, it's this person's strength training. Okay, now it's cardio. Oh, now he's active, just grinding on it all the time. Jiu-jitsu,
Right.
You should do at least a minimum of 3 to 4 days a week, I would say, to be in a level like that.
Okay.
And you bring up the jiu-jitsu thing. It's funny because Thug Rose, last I knew, was training out at Justin Gagey in Colorado in that whole camp. So for her to have that kind of jiu-jitsu, that's pretty good, and then see him not do anything on the ground, not even use his wrestling, and then it's just a crazy thought to me.
Yeah, he's got a really smart coach though. I'm gonna this is gonna be another great fight. This fucking card is stacked,
this
right?
card is awesome.
Yeah. I'm gonna give the edge to Gaethje though. I think, fingers crossed, we finally see some of that wrestling in action. He's gonna have to, because Chandler's gonna, like you said, he's gonna try to use that. And if Gaethje can defend it, I think it's gonna give him an edge in this.
Yep. Next up.
Keep rolling on the same card. I found this on the prelims, right? Frankie Edgar, 23-9-1 versus Marlon Vera, 17-7-1. Frankie's been around forever, right?
Yeah.
So with that said, I'm leaning Marlon Vera. I think Frankie's kind of become the gatekeeper. He's losing a step. He's not seeing the punches when they're coming or can't get out of the way. I think he's just kind of been the gatekeeper this last couple of years, and he probably needs to give it up here shortly. So I'm going with Marlon Vera.
Same. I'm going with Marlon Vera. Frankie, get out. If you can hear me, get out.
Get out, right? It's enough. He's had enough.
Yeah.
I'm going to go the same route, and I agree with you. The gatekeeper, it's the same thing as like
Cowboy
Cerrone.
Yeah.
When you're on your way up, this is the guy that you have to go ahead and duke her out with, and then you take your step up. Big name, highly entertaining. They've done their work over their career, and I think it's that's exactly what this is.
Yeah, I mean,
Agreed.
he's been an exciting fighter, his entire career in the UFC, and we've seen some awesome, fight of the nights and fights of the years with him. I just think it's time. He's run out of time, unfortunately.
On to that Bellator 271.
Yeah. So Bellator 271, November 12th, Cyborg, the women. 24-2 versus Sinead Kavanaugh. 7-4. Like I said, we're not going to know some of these Bellator names. I'm going to just roll with Cyborg. She's a beast.
Are you going anywhere else?
Yeah. Where else do you go here but with Cyborg?
Who's the only person to whoop her?
Amanda Nunes.
Amanda
unless
Nunes,
unless
who
they're
is
fighting,
it?
The man,
that's
the
it.
myth, the legend, the
Yeah.
female,
Yep.
whatever you want to call her.
Amazon.
Amanda Nunes. Yeah.
Yeah. So, stud.
Right.
That's where I go. I'm sure we're all.
Cyborgs, yep.
Cyborg, and she's fighting a 7-4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cyborg's just too much experience, black belt, trains to freaking every day from what I know of.
Yeah.
And
I think her and her husband both, right? I think they both, like, that is their life. So
yeah, I heard when I was training at Elite Edge or whatever, Josh Neers, because they go there on Thursday, Joe Brammer, he fights in the UFC and he owns Elite Edge. And he was telling me a story about Cyborg and the guy, and he just tears everybody up in jiu-jitsu. I guess he's just amazing at jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
Yeah, just didn't tap in a lot of black belts and stuff like that.
Badass.
It's just an interesting story that
Okay.
I heard.
Yeah.
Cyborg,
Yeah.
All right. So two real quick we'll touch on. Tyrell Fortune 11-1 versus Linton Vassell 20-8. Also Aaron Pico 8-3 versus Justin Gonzalez. He's undefeated, so that one will be interesting. I'm going to take Tyrell Fortune and Aaron Pico, personal favorites. I know Tyrell has a lot of power, so I'm thinking he's going to win that fight. Don't know the other guy. Aaron Pico got a lot of power, wrestler, high-level wrestler. So that'll be an interesting fight. Not going to make a pick there because like I said, don't know those names. So I'm rolling with Aaron Pico though. So I don't know if y'all know. Like I said, these Bellator ones I don't know a lot of them.
If I had to pick one, I'm picking Tyrell.
Yeah, I think that's probably the only.
And then I'm gonna go undefeated. You have something that you're gonna
trying to
sit
roll
there
with your
Yep.
protecting your O.
You have something serious on the line.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I'd have to roll with.
Any thoughts on those?
Pico.
Yeah, Pico. He's got a lot of power for a small guy. Rolling on UFC Fight Night. So some of these cards as we're finishing out here, only have a couple fights because it seems like they may be trying to fill.
Yep.
So just a couple fights. This fight on November 13th, Max Holloway 22-6 versus Yair Rodriguez 13-2. Max all the way.
Just
I
been
think
around
he's
forever too. Jesus.
Yeah, Yair. I thought he was going to make the jump and become a better fighter, and it seems like he's kind of plateaued. He got lucky against Korean Zombie. He was getting pieced up the entire time. He threw a spinning elbow into connecting and knocking him out. I think he's kind of plateaued right there, and so I see Max Holloway just rolling. He's a stud. He does all kinds of things very well. So that's my pick.
Max is the best in that weight class. He should be the champion. The judges are dog shit. So, Max all the way.
Yeah, I got Max too.
Max.
Yeah. Other one on that I have Kevin Holland 21-7 versus Kyle Dacus 10-2. Kevin Holland 21-7. I'm gonna go with Kevin Holland. They talked about he's revamped his training, right? He's gonna stop. He's a talker in the cage, and a lot of times it seems that's what he wants to do, just talk shit, not fight. But they say he's come out and he's training with a purpose now, and has kind of changed things up. So I'm gonna go with Kevin. I think a new, improved Kevin wins that fight.
I got Kevin too. Just back off the talking a little bit. I get the whole head games things, but he kind of just goes overboard a little bit, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I
Gets
got
lost,
Kevin.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same here.
Okay, so UFC Fight Night, November 20th. Only one fight here. Ketlin Vieira, 11-2 versus Miesha Tate, 19-7. Miesha Tate come back, look good. I think she continues to look good, only improve, after her time off. So going Miesha here.
I'm thinking the same thing. She looked damn good when she came back. She put the kid had a child.
I was like, what?
I was to say. I can't remember what I was to say.
She had a baby, folks.
She had a baby.
She had a baby.
She's fighting, still
Yeah.
breastfeeding.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
what
and they
the
come
hell?
out,
Yeah.
tuned up the body, and she
Yeah.
looked damn good. That's all I'm saying. She came in, and it's almost like she didn't miss a beat. Maybe even gained a little bit. As in gained a little more drive. Even she looked good to me. So to me, that one's an easy one. But
Yep. One fight on Bellator 272. We talked about it the other night, so I'll ask Mike. Sergio Pettis, 21-5 versus Hoji Horiguchi, 29-3. What are you thinking? I took Pettis. I think he'll come over here and hopefully take care of business. He was so close in the UFC, right? Just couldn't make that hump. And I think coming down to Bellator, I think maybe he does that.
Yeah, I got Sergio too. I think he just finished 1 or 2.
Okay. UFC Fight Night, December 4th. Only 2 fights here. Rob Font, 19-4 versus Jose Aldo, 30-7. Here I was leaning on the fence, right? Jose, he's kind of slipped these last couple years, and it looked like he was a gatekeeper. But, man, these last couple of fights, he has really turned it on. And I could see him, a couple more wins, put himself right back in title contention. And so I'm not giving up on Aldo yet. I'm going Aldo by knockout.
Aldo took him that many fights to get right from Conor dropping him in
Exactly.
9 seconds. So, but that being said, I'm going Aldo too. Aldo's a bad man too. It took him a little footing. I think there was also a dispute with UFC at that time too. Was there not?
Not sure.
I thought there was like a little dispute with him and UFC and his contract and shit. Like maybe he wanted to leave, but I can't remember what it was exactly. But dudes look damn good. I'm rolling Aldo.
I got Aldo too. He's like Chris was saying, he's coming back like hardcore.
Yeah, I don't know what he changed,
good.
but man,
Like,
maybe he had them ghost eyes, in his back of his head from oh boy knocking him out in 13 seconds, right?
Yeah.
God, that'd be crazy. Can you imagine?
Oh man, yeah, just to
being
build up.
him.
You put that much, we hear about money putting the fight camp and go out and get rocked in 13 seconds, like. Because I'm guessing he put 20,000 into a fight camp, right, for that.
I bet, yeah.
That's
a lot
crazy.
Of time and effort.
And that too, yeah.
Just for that.
Same card, Jimmy Cruz 12-2 versus Jamal Heel 8-1. Not gonna make a pick here. I've seen Jimmy Cruz fight a couple times. Interesting, just to kind of see. They got just a couple losses each, and so it'll be a fun fight to watch. I think on their feet. So we'll see what happens there. Not gonna make a pick though because I don't know too well. Anybody know them?
No.
No.
Not
So
here.
Flip a coin.
yep.
There you go.
So here's another big card, UFC 269, December 11th. We talked about Charles Oliveira, champ, 31-8 versus Dustin Poirier, 28-6. I don't know, man.
My wife is in me DMs.
This is an interesting fight because Poirier's shown that he can get touched, right? Connor did touch him and hit him clean several times. And Oliveira, he's shown, like against Mike Chandler, that he can stumble people too, and then he's got the jiu-jitsu background that he can finish you, boom, just like that. Toss-up fight for me, I don't know. I think it's going to be a great one. I'm not going to put a pick on it because it's so close. I think it's going to be so close.
So you're too afraid to.
I am actually really afraid to make a pick. I would not put I'm going to lean Poirier, I guess. I'm not going to put in. I probably won't bet it, just because I'm so unsure. Lean in Poirier thing, though. I think.
Well, is Dustin's wife going to message?
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
Right.
But
Stay out of them DMs.
Yeah.
I got Dustin.
Yeah.
But it, like Chris is saying, it's so hard because they're both like the same.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
You know, I give Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu over to Oliveira, but yeah, just on their feet, I think they can both just piece each other up here. So whoever can, boom, hit that light switch, I guess.
Yeah, it'd be a good fight. Personally, I give the edge to Oliveira, though. I think he just has overall the better package.
All the tools.
Dustin's got the heart, man. I love watching him fight. I think he's put a lot into it, and he's great. Slight edge to Oliveira, though. Yeah.
Okay.
Mine's Poirier.
Poirier too. Okay. Yeah.
When you were saying that Connor was touching him, Connor was trying to play inspirational fight. Like trying to.
Mm-hmm.
Connor was boxing.
Yeah.
He wasn't.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You know?
And he hasn't been the same since either.
Yeah.
Himself,
Yeah.
So ever since he made some money, I'm still impressed with how Dustin's fought his last 5-6 fights. So I'm still riding with that.
So another title fight.
Do we need to talk about this one?
Do we even need, I was going to say the same thing. Manny Nunez, champ, 21-4 versus Juliana Pena, 11-4. Nunez all the way. She's a beast. I don't see anybody beating her for a while.
Until they move her up to the men's division.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't even know then. I bet she could drop.
Oh, yeah.
That is.
Yeah,
God.
she'd fuck up Cejudo, right?
Oh,
Like,
man.
Oh.
She'd beat some.
I don't know about that.
She'd beat some dudes up at 135.
No, she could,
so.
though, for sure.
That is one bad woman right there.
Yep.
Damn.
So awesome to
It's
watch, dude.
Yeah, I've never watched any one of her fights. At least in her last 6, 7 of them, that was not entertained.
Yeah.
She got in the ring with Cyborg. We just talked about how bad a bad woman Cyborg was, and that's her life.
Mm-hmm.
She murdered her, and wasn't that like inside of a minute? Up against her, I remember her up against the cage.
Quick.
It was quick, and she was on her. Ding, 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 ding. That's one bad woman right there. There's no chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, there ain't nobody left for her to fight. You
No.
gotta have to bump her up to man's
Exactly.
No, who's that? I don't remember her name. I think it was the last girl she fought. She went the full fight. Nunez beat her ass the entire fight, but she stood, never got knocked out, kept taking it. I can't
remember her name either, but I remember that now. Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot
but
of
she
respect.
still took that. She took a whooping though.
Yep.
She did
And
take
Nunez
an
recognized
absolute-
that at the end of the fight too. She's like, damn. She's all right.
Like I'll pay for the ice.
Yeah.
Right, shit, dude, looking like me out there. All right, I think we're all with Nunez. Next up, Leon Edwards, 19-3 versus
This
Jorge
one's
Masvidal,
tough. This one's tough for me.
35-15. So these guys hate each other.
Yes.
This will stay on its feet. And I think we talked about it earlier in the show, and I took Jorge because I think he's, the emotions won't get to him as much as possibly Leon, because Jorge comes from a backyard brawler. I'm fighting in the backyards every 2 days or every weekend, and whatever. I can stand and bang and not let the emotions play on my heart or in my head.
Mm-hmm.
So with this all going on and the beef they got going on, I think it affects him the least, and I think that's why he wins.
Okay.
I don't know. I just kind of think I got Leon or whatever. I don't know. Leon's pretty good.
He has looked
He
good.
is very good, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go Leon too. And I think for a little different reason. I think they're both pretty evenly matched. Jorge's very skilled, right, too. I think he's starting to get into the money a little too much. He's not, he's not at
Chasing
Connor
it?
level.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think he's got other things going on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, he really realized he's probably in the back end.
Yeah.
So if he's going to make money and
He already borderline admitted that too. Remember, he said he's
only
like
got so
the
many
reason
left.
why he didn't get to this Leon Edwards one for a while. He even said that I've had this going on, this, and this. So, but I'm ready. Let's do this. That's kind of how it went. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But that's transitioning to mine. I think this one was hard. I will say that right now. I want to pick Massville really bad. I really do. I think I'm gonna ride with Leon though. I think at this point, Leon has more to prove.
Way more to gain, right?
Way more to gain.
Yeah.
Prove, gain. Massville's kind of setting his thing, and I'm not saying it ain't gonna be a good one. And you know me, I like when they stand up and duke them out. So.
Sure.
I think that's exactly what this one will be. Either that or the flying knee. Is that what it was?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Then the winner fights for the title. Then probably right after that, I'd say.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
100%, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and plus that looks really good for Nate Diaz too, especially with Leon Edwards winning. I feel just because he almost finished him.
Should have,
Yeah,
right?
Should have. He
Fuck,
should have.
man.
He should have. I think he got he wanted to talk shit and,
Yeah.
and it kind of,
I think he
should have
didn't
finished him.
realize that he like hit him like that, and like because he had like the game plan to kind of try to get in his head a little bit.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh shit, he's stunned," and then he kind of stuttered towards him like, "Oh fuck," and then
He lost it.
recovered.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like jumping up and down like,
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because he was losing the entire fight, right? He's
Yeah.
kind of getting pieced up, and it's like, okay, he's about to lose a decision. And then boom, and it's like, oh, get him. Yeah, so.
I thought it was gonna be over though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, this is it.
Yep. It should have been. Damn. It was
I
like.
know.
But
This
you're
thing-
right. I think that's a good point. I think he probably didn't realize it, right?
Yeah.
So he's talking, saying, "I got you." Oh shit!
Like, oh
Yeah.
fuck,
I
that-
should
that
really get
stunned
you.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're
right.
right.
It was just like this step back and point, you know, and then he was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
Right. Moving on, same card. Kai Kara France, 22-9. I know him. I don't know if y'all do. Versus Cody Garbrandt, 12-4. Be interesting to see Cody Garbrandt back in the cage. You know, he's got the power. Kara France. I'm not sure if he has the same power, but he's smaller, fast, and quick. So it'll be an interesting fight. Give me Cody. He uses power, knocks him out.
Yeah. I wish he was still Cody before he lost to TJ. Right. That man was so
Well,
fun to watch.
People started finding that button, right? That glass jaw. Boom.
Once it gets,
And
once you get tagged,
once it got tagged, that button got pushed in. It's being found repetitively.
yeah.
Garbrandt here too.
Yeah.
Yep, Garbrandt.
Garbrandt. Okay.
So, I'm trying to find. So I wanted to see if we get a little breaking news from our guy here. Nate tweeted. Who the hell did he say he was fighting?
We just
Ferguson.
talked
Tony?
about Ferguson.
Tony.
Yeah,
Ferguson.
potentially.
Potentially.
It's still in the works. But yeah, potentially fighting Ferguson. So that'll be a big thing. I just was telling Mike before when we kind of took a break. Because so he's got one fight left, right? So he fights Ferguson. Well, what does it really mean? What does that fight mean, right?
Money.
Maybe, but this is where I went with money.
Okay.
Fight Connor for the trilogy, make bank, and then leave. Because he's kind of been out of it last couple fights, right? Like, it's almost like he doesn't want to, but he does.
Yeah, him
But
and Connor
not-
are almost on the same boat.
Right,
Right.
not
Yeah.
100%, in,
Yeah.
but he's not completely out. It's like, fight the trilogy, make bank, get out and go do whatever the hell what you want to do. So that's what I thought myself.
That'd be good. Everybody would watch it.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
You're gonna
Oh,
make
it's gonna
make tons of
coin.
money.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. Go make bank and then just get
Dude,
out.
the besides even the fights, the two fights that these two have already gotten into before that were legendary. To me, I was like, Jesus. Could went down to the end of the wire each
Oh, yeah.
one.
The storyline with each one. The
Storyline,
fight in general.
The shit talking alone.
They're both so great at it.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
yeah. Oh yeah, just amazing.
And Nate don't give a fuck. That's
No, he
that's
don't.
what I love. It's just like, it isn't like he's like extremely quippy, like firing back, like trying to come up with.
But it's always good.
Wait, but
It
no,
is.
even at the end, he's like, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Let's bang it out.
Right.
And that's what I appreciate about it. I would love to see that. I mean, I would obviously pay for it because, like I said, the previous two were that enjoyable, and I'd like to see a little something and get Nate some money.
Yeah.
Get him because God, that would sell.
Yeah, exactly. It would. Rolling on in this card, Raulian Paiva, 21-3. I don't know him, but I brought it up and I wrote it on here because Sean O'Malley, 14-1. Sean O'Malley's pushing for money and bigger pay and bigger names. I think he just rolls. So, myself, I don't know if y'all know anything about him or the other guy.
O'Malley.
I'm taking O'Malley.
I just want O'Malley to get beat. So I'm
So
rooting
do
for
You
the
do?
other guy.
You want him to get
Yes,
you want him to get
sir.
messed up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
I think
a-
he's almost trying too hard sometimes, right? To be like have a persona and
Yeah,
you know,
different, yeah.
and so I get that, but
He hasn't been in a real fight yet,
yeah,
has he?
yeah,
Like he's usually gets. I want to say lucky, maybe not. He's got a because I think he's a lefty too, right? Like,
I'm not sure on that.
but yeah, he always sneaks one in, gets a knockout, and then
Yep.
it's done. He hasn't been in a real fight. I need to see him in a dog fight before.
Yeah, I want to see one too.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yep.
I want to see if he has the heart and the drive to
right. If he
fight
gets in
out of
trouble,
it.
right?
Yep.
Okay.
I want him to push hard.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So next up, I brought it up. It's on the undercard. Pedro Munoz, 19-6 versus Dom Cruz is back, 23-3.
Oh shit! I didn't know
Yeah.
he came back.
Yeah, exactly. On the undercard. So I was surprised when I saw it. I was like, oh shit. It'll be interesting to see if Dom Cruz, he's getting up in age, I think. If he can get back on track and if he looks the same, injuries have derailed this dude's career. Awesome fighter if he can stay in the cage and he just can't. So I think it's going to come down. Munoz, he's got some power if he can touch Dom Cruz, right? Is he going to even be able to hit him? If he does, I can see him knocking him out. But I'm going to take Dom Cruz. I think he's going to be too slick. Maybe get a decision. I think it'll go to a decision if Munoz doesn't knock him out. So, but I don't think he'll be able to touch him. So that's where I'm going with that one.
I got Dominick Cruz. He moves really good and stuff. And it is kind of surprising knowing he's coming back because I didn't until you just told me.
Right.
ACL after ACL.
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
know?
dude.
And then just recovered.
Just
and then
horrible.
The same ACL tear. Like, dang, that's crazy.
What do you think, Dan?
Mine would have to be Dominick Cruz.
Okay.
Yep.
Danny,
Yeah,
anything?
I agree too.
Yeah.
He moves so unique. Like the way he bounces around, his movement is so cool. I love to watch him fight. I hope he comes in and gets the W for sure.
Definitely. Skipping ahead, our last one, UFC Fight Night, December 18th. My balls is hot. Derek Lewis, 25-8 versus Chris Dacus, 12-3.
My balls is hot. I
My
love how you
balls
threw
is
that
hot.
in.
Hold on. What is your pregame meal? Well, if my wife's in town, I eat her ass.
He's so good, dude.
He said that to a lot of people, like
Yeah,
in a
that-
basketball court.
Dude, it was
Or at
it
the
was,
Nets-
it was
Knicks gym.
pregame Knicks center court with the goddamn speakers going on.
You don't
in the
care.
thing. I'm like,
He don't
it
care.
was genuine.
Yeah.
There wasn't
Yeah.
a smirk. There wasn't a chuckle. He was like being dead serious. I don't know. Lucky woman,
Right.
I guess.
I
Right?
guess, yeah.
I'm going to lean Derek Lewis. I don't really know the other guy. I wish he'd be more consistent, right? He shows up one fight and he looks good, boom, gets knocked out, and he shows up next and he looks flat. He gets beat, decision or whatever, or runs out of gas and just, So I wish he'd be more consistent. It would be easier to like him as a fighter in the cage. Like I like his Instagram page, he puts all the funny
best
shit.
IG. If you don't follow him, you need to check it out.
One of the best, IGs out there, in the game, and he's hilarious talking to him. I just wish I could like him more as a fighter if he'd be more consistent. I'm going to still take Derek Lewis on this, though.
I got Derek Lewis, too.
Yep.
Lewis,
agreed.
work on your cardio a little bit.
Yeah,
A
man.
little bit.
Yeah, man. What do you think, Jimmer?
Oh, Derek Lewis.
Derek Lewis, okay.
Oh yeah. No,
This card pretty light at the moment. Like I said, some of these are probably filling in. Cub Swanson, 27-12 versus Darren the Damage Elkins, 27-9. Cub Swanson, he's never reached that top game. I think he just kind of he plateaued and been the guy, if you beat him, the doorway man, whatever we call that, if you can beat him, you can probably make it in. Darren Elkins, he's kind of been there too. And I think it'll be an awesome fight because Darren, he's called the Damage for a reason. He takes a lot, but he still keeps coming. Give me Darren Elkins in a crazy, crazy fight. This gets crazy. People get cut up. I think maybe a couple knockdowns here and there. Give me like a decision or something crazy.
I got Cub Swanson. I think it'll be fight of the night on that card.
Absolutely.
Yeah, love it. I got Cub too.
Okay.
it is a clean sweep. Cub Swanson.
No, I took Darren. I took Elkins.
Oh, I thought.
Yeah, I think he gets crazy. So.
Oh, you also are misinformed quite often. So
Not on picking the Giants to win 9 games.
we'll see. Season ain't over. Long season.
Yeah. So that's it for our MMA picks at the moment here. We want to talk to Mike Estus, though. He talked about being a promoter and he has his fights. Let's talk about your card coming up here on the 27th and some fighters that you have up and coming out of your gym and want to keep an eye on.
I got November 27th. Like I said, at the fairgrounds. It's going to be pro boxing. Amateur kickboxing. I was originally going to just do amateur kickboxing and stuff. Because when you do pro boxing, there's a lot more involvement, especially when you got the Iowa Athletic Commission there. So they're just going to be coming for my 2 pro fights for that. And then we got Brian McIntyre. A lot of people want to see him fight. He's making his pro debut. His head coach is Mark Sansey. Like I said, back in the day, me and Mark Sansey, we kind of were rival gyms for a while, from the start. And now that we've weeded some people out, or some people left, because I think it was more of the fighters talking trash back and forth and he said, she said bullshit and Facebook posts and stuff. Now we're getting along, and now we kind of coach the same and kind of have the same mindset. And I go to his gym on Wednesday and do boxing, and he links me in and helps me be involved, and helps out. You kind of look at it like, hey, let's get all these coaches and get all the involvement in. And then I got a co-main event. Mark Sansey's brother, he's from Florida, but he's in like North Carolina or somewhere around there now. But I heard he's a pretty good boxer. He's fighting a real big, scary guy from Nebraska. It'll be a good co-main event. They're going to be slugging it out. But Mark's brother and all them, they're related to the guy that used to be a world champ, Andre Berto or whatever.
Okay.
So, the family comes from boxing. He's fighting the MMA guy that does boxing, but that'll be a good match. I got my stepson, Austin Robinson, fighting. He's kickboxing, coming back. He's coming out off a tough loss in MMA. He was doing for a 5-round title, but lost, I think, at the end of the 3rd. But Miguel, had his LFA debut against an experienced pro, and he beat him.
There we go.
Okay.
Nice.
So Miguel
Yeah.
won his
Okay.
LFA debut,
Yeah.
So, Austin, and then I got Steve Crum. He's like a newer guy that's coming up. He's still learning and stuff, but we're getting him the right match, and think it'll be good. So, and then mostly everybody I got is just from out of town and stuff now. Like I said, I've been working from, the ground up kind of thing. So I don't really have to, bag people to go kind of thing. The show kind of speaks from itself,
Sure.
each one is always leveled up, so
Yep.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
it's been really successful. Basically quit my job to do this more full time.
There we go.
So I got some, bigger things coming up. Possibly have a pro boxing MMA show, so I'll have a cage and a ring next to each other.
Okay.
In Minneapolis. So I'm talking to a guy that has a lot of money but wants to donate basically all that money to like a charity or whatever, and the Minnesota Vikings are going to be involved and stuff like that. So we're probably going to have the show at the Minnesota Vikings practice stadium thing, and so they want me to run it, and whatever I need, they'll take care of it.
Nice.
Love to hear
Nice.
that. That is
That's
Very
awesome.
interesting.
So
That's
it's
cool.
Gonna probably give me a heart attack before it's all said and done. But
Hey.
I mean,
There
the
you go.
two different things together, it's a combo. It's 2 different worlds, and you mix them together. But you know what I mean. I'm gonna do my hardest, or it'll be good.
It will be.
But I'm gonna be on it, right from the
Absolutely.
start to finish.
Yep.
So
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I haven't been to a show that I was disappointed of yours that you put on. So
thanks, man.
that's legitimate. Like I said, we went to that one. We went out to a few of those at the fairgrounds too.
Mhm.
There's been one where I was where I went away like, God, why did you do that? No, it's a damn good time, and
Yeah.
I highly suggest that anybody go take date night. Take your
Yeah.
wife. I took my wife, and she enjoyed every second of it too. So
That's good.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I really do.
that's big time though. Up there,
yeah.
especially with a classy organization like the Minnesota Vikings. too, so.
Yeah, it'll be a level up for sure. I just know some good people up there, and I have a friend that's linking me to all these great people that are basically millionaires.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's good. I mean, you see your show, and you started out, kind of small, a fighter, and then moved on, gym owner or whatnot, and started promoting and making your own show, and then now you're starting to reach some other levels, that you haven't reached before. So you're seeing it grow, obviously, and that's an accomplishment, and I'm sure good to see for yourself as well. Your hard work coming back and
Yeah, I appreciate that. MMA in just general is just emotional and tough, but, push past those obstacles and overcame them and stuff. And, just it's a lot of work, but I like it, so.
It's a big deal,
Yep.
man. Being able to quit your job to focus on this too, that's a huge step. That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's the goal here.
That's right.
Yeah, I just work at
Dang
Shikai
right.
part-time, so. But, especially if
yeah.
I got this whole Vikings thing coming up, I'm going to have to quit. Just completely.
Yep.
Because I'm going to have to go all in. I mean, this is level after level. I
Yep.
mean, May City Arena, and now we got this. So it's going to be pretty crazy. So I'll probably do a thing with them where, I'm in a contract with them for a couple of years, so,
There you go.
have
Awesome.
it once a year up there in the cities. I'm sure it's going to be amazing and nice.
Oh,
so,
Absolutely.
Let's go.
yeah.
So
Love
you were telling us a little story off the air, right?
Mhm.
About our man Nate.
Oh, Nate, yeah.
So he was. So anyone that's listening, if you didn't go, he made an appearance in Mason City at one of your fight promotions,
Mhm.
and because his academy, some of his fighters were there, including what was his cousin. Is
His best friend, Chris Avila.
Okay. Yep.
Yep. And then he had Luciano Ramos. He's from Argentina. He left the country just to come train with Nate.
Okay.
And he lives in the gym. So I think his duties are just to clean up the gym. But he's a grinder. He's kind of like, I know they hate Connor, but you know how Connor's like a grinder off the streets of Ireland and he's just crazy nuts and just would fight anybody go crazy. Well, that's how Luciano is. He's just nuts and crazy, and he'll fight a 300-pound monster, and he's only 135 pounds, 145.
Yeah.
And the purple belt jiu-jitsu, really good. And then we had Jose Aguayo, but I had his guy freaking pull out the last minute. Literally every time I get Jose a fight, somebody pulls out against him a week or
Dang.
two before or a couple of days. Only Jose. Everybody else has been sticking good.
Yep.
I got to stay on top of these fighters. I gotta check in with them every week. I gotta just say hi. You gotta stay on top of these guys.
Yeah,
'cause
that's
some
a
people
professional.
Won't tell you
That's
shit.
professional too.
Yeah, they won't tell you nothing.
Yes.
So I usually do my weekly check-in, and I even checked in. I have 11 fights now, but I did have 12. I checked in with the fighter, and I'm like, hey, man, how's it going? I got this picture here for you or whatever. And he's like, I have an appointment about my nose. My nose might be broken, so I might have to have surgery. It's so he wasn't even going to tell me if I didn't message him. It's
If you
stupid.
didn't pipe in.
So that's why I got
Wow.
to stay on top of them, And if they don't reply to me after a day, then I'm calling them. You just got to do it because it's like an embarrassment, and people expect these people to fight, and some of these fighters, chip a nail or something like that, and it's over. And you're just like, what the hell's going on? But it hasn't been bad for me for a while because I've been getting the quality fights or better fighters.
Yep.
Yeah.
But once in a while stuff like that does happen, but who to be like, okay, I'm done with you now. So
Yep.
especially if it's just dumb, there's
Yeah.
no reason really,
Yeah.
So.
Right. So you're about to hop in the ring. You're probably gonna break that nose anyway again. So why don't we just?
That's what I'm saying. So just go to your little consultation that you got, right? And be like, oh, well, can I schedule my surgery after the 27th?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Josh Neer, he broke his nose completely. It's straight now. But he said, I'm not going to fix my nose until I'm basically, done fighting for the most part, being active. Makes sense. So,
Yep.
I mean, when he gets his nose repaired, then he's going to be out even longer because then he'll just break it easier, Because it's
Yeah.
like glue going back. Pretty much, it's like, why are you doing this? I don't know.
Yep.
People drive me nuts sometimes, but it's only one or two once in a while. That's about it. But that happens in the UFC even, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, you hear about people, I tore this, or I tore that, or I got this coming in, or sometimes they don't elaborate that much, but
wasn't that Ferguson for
yeah.
how many ever times he was supposed to fight?
Well, I'm just talking
No,
after a fight, it comes out man, I got this messed up with this, but
Oh,
I
yeah,
had
you're
to
talking
fight.
about afterwards.
Yeah,
Right,
but
yeah.
I
I'm
fought
just-
because you know what? This is a fucking job. You're paying me, and I have to do this. Because this is my life. This is what I want to do. So
Yeah.
I'm here, no matter if I tore something or unless it's obviously big. You're probably not going to fight with the ACL tear or whatever. But
Right.
you see lots of people they have problems. I don't think almost anybody goes into a fight 100%.
No.
Training's brutal, man.
Training is
Yeah.
Go
brutal.
through a
Right.
camp, you're
Yeah.
dinged up for sure.
I was
Oh,
gonna say,
yeah.
if you're going in 100%, that means you definitely weren't going 100% into your training.
Yeah.
So, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to go in 100% healthy if.
No, there's times where I shouldn't even been fighting, but I said I was gonna do it, so I did it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
even if I lost or whatever, I gotta be professional. And it was my problem. I could have
Yep.
maybe done some things different. So
Yeah.
So what I think Jimmer was alluding to when he started asking you,
Yeah.
do you have any good after party stories maybe of some of these events you've held?
Like when Nate was here or whatever, he came to the weigh-ins and stuff like that, and people got real excited because, people, bug me like, is Nate really coming? Can I take a picture with Nate? Can you have Nate corner me? Can I take a picture of Nate? Can you get his autograph? It's like, dude, go ask him if you run into him. Like, I'm sure he'll be fine. Like, I get blown up like left and right during the show, especially with somebody like that coming. Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
And so anyway, he came to weigh-ins, and then that's when people started freaking out. And then everybody knew. Like when he was walking out, like everybody just rushed over to the crowd gates to the walkout, and they're like, "Oh my God, it's Nate Diaz." And then I even seen like people pulling chairs out for like the whole crew, like, "Oh, sit down," and blah blah blah. I'm like, "Oh yeah, you don't do that for like other people or whatever." They're like, "Here you go, sir. Like, sit down," And I'm like, "Wow, this is great." But no, it was cool, and he took tons of pictures with people. He took thousands of pictures.
Very
I'm
nice,
not
very
freaking-
generous,
good for him.
nice guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
then his fighters, they went 2-0. We were at the sports page, had a real good time. They took pictures with people there too and stuff like that. And then we went to after party, and let's just say there's some hippie lettuce going on. But it was crazy. I just was like, everybody was like, "Oh yeah, this is awesome." And then everybody started getting a little more buzzed up, And then I got to the point where I was just like, here you go, just handing off beer. We're taking like cases of beer out the back door with somebody's permission, right before 2:00. And then we're like, all right, afty's at my house. We're like, okay, so I'm thinking there's only gonna be like 20 people there, okay? And then all of a sudden, 100 people. At my house till 5 a.m. People outside, people in my gym, people inside.
Damn.
Like people, like I'd be outside or like somebody wanted to see the gym because I got the gym on my property, and then I'd come back in and somebody I haven't even seen in 10 years is sitting on my kitchen table eating chips. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
What is going on?
And Nate was just in there partying, having fun. Like it was. It was a blast, and supposedly, I don't know for sure, but I know the incident happened. But supposedly, somebody left my house there, I guess, a little tipsy, and they hit about 3 or 4 cars of my neighbors.
No
on the way out.
man. Oh
And they had to go
man.
to jail and everything. And
I know who it was.
Yeah,
It was Tom Gildersleeve.
it
You
was
don't-
what?
It was
don't-
Tom
you don't know
Gildersleeve. You don't know him,
You don't
but
know
we
him,
do.
but-
Supposedly he's at my house.
Yeah.
And I don't even fucking know him. Who are you? Yeah, that motherfucker's hitting parked cars and shit. I'm like, damn. I'm like, for real? And then this lady was outside. They're like, I know Mike Estus had a fight show, and I know he came from that house.
Oh, yeah.
He's over there.
Jeez.
Cops just drive by, wave.
I like it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was crazy. Like it was a real good night. And then anyway, they stayed. The Diaz crew and people or whatever stayed till about 5 a.m. We about ended that night, And then they had a flight the next day in Minneapolis. They went to Minneapolis, kept drinking.
Oh.
Missed their flight. Kept drinking.
Oh,
Missed their
shit.
flight. Kept drinking. Missed their flight. So finally, where Nate's probably had to just pay for his private jet to come get him. And then they just
That's what I was
then
gonna
they started
ask,
just
yeah.
drinking on there, and then flew back to Stockton.
Jeez, man.
I mean, those
Going
guys,
hard. They're
those
going
guys
crazy.
can party, man. It was-
Hey,
it
man,
was
going
cool.
2-0, you can do that.
Yeah, we had Nick Maxwell at my house too. He was going to fight in my fight show. He really wanted to fight in it, and he actually had a better opportunity. He went to the UFC. I don't know if you guys paid attention. It
Okay.
was just a fight just recently in the UFC, and he won his UFC debut.
There we go.
He
Okay,
was over
awesome.
there, and then Nate. And then we had like Randy Spence and Jose Luciano, this Josh Scott guy that's a pretty good boxer that was there. It was a crazy, wild, fun night that I'll probably never ever forget. You know what I mean? And,
I bet.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
a lot of
Oh, that's
people had
awesome.
fun. Like I said, I still can't believe the cops didn't come over, but it was still, worth it. Like, because, you get that warning, like, all right, you guys are going to have to close
no,
it
it's
up.
well worth it.
But,
Yeah. This is
I was
worth
like,
every
great.
minute.
And nobody got hurt but the crazy driver that left, I guess. And, that was it. So, I don't know if he got hurt, but, there was no problems.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it was just good times, just being adults and having a good old time, you know what I mean? So,
Heck yeah.
He seems like a pretty damn laid back guy, like a dude's dude, and
yeah, he's a people person.
Yeah.
I'd say he, like, you would think that not, because, Nick's not really.
Yeah.
And then maybe Nate used to be, but Nate is. Like, he's involved with so many people, and he's good at doing what he's supposed to do, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
But, yeah, I know that they'll be back on May 21st when I have my MMA show. And then I got El Nino. If you guys know Gilbert Melendez out of the UFC.
Yeah.
Well, that's his gym. His brother messaged me on Instagram, and
Okay.
they want to have their guys come and fight. So Gil could be coming with them next. Like,
Oh,
we can
nice,
get,
yeah.
like, the old scrap pack. Maybe Jake Shields will come.
You're
too.
right.
Who
Yeah.
knows? Like,
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
I've trained
Hell
with
yeah.
there. I've rolled with Gilbert Melendez, and he said I was a scrappy dude, and he is too, for because I'm a bigger guy, and obviously he has a lot more experience than me. But you know what I mean? Like, it was fun to go with people like that, and experience it. And if it wasn't for Josh Neer, like, I wouldn't have met any of these guys. And
Shout out Josh Neer.
yeah, thanks, Josh. And he's helped me out, like, completely along the way, especially getting under Cesar Gracie. Our gym under Cesar Gracie was like, we went to, like, one of the best grappling gyms in the world, Nick Diaz Academy and Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. Like, if you guys are ever in the area, stop by and then train. Like, that place, like, man, there's some crazy grapplers in there. Like, I've just learned just so much. It's just, jiu-jitsu is different from what it used to be a couple of years ago to now. It's just, like, really relaxed and chill, and especially when you go against the crazy new white belt, like, and you're just like, okay, buddy. You're just kind of just floating around like you're on a little boat, like, in a river, like, all righty, calm down. I tap, fuck it. Get off me. But yeah, I don't know. It's been a wild ride, a great experience. Appreciate all the fans, even you guys, even on the podcast. Like, shit like that helps. Like, support each other. That's what it's about. Let's all help each other, grow and stuff. And it makes you all work hard. I'm sure it makes you guys work hard. I mean, you guys put all this together. You got Chris, like, typed out a whole thing of stats and stuff, and you talked about your sports and you're in it and everything. It's good, man. That's if you love to do something, just keep doing it.
No, absolutely.
Just keep going no matter what.
Absolutely. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna say it one more time. North Iowa Fights. Right here is November 27th, Saturday. Doors open at 5. Showtime at 6.
Yep. And tickets are going fast.
Tickets going fast.
They're going fast. VIP, I'd say, is gone. There
Okay.
might be some fighters out there that have it. My wife, Kathy Estus, she, works at Spike sometimes and stuff, and she's actually my top ticket seller. And she's not even a fighter, and
Cool.
she's been helping
That's
a
awesome.
lot out with that too, and bringing, like, her side of the people and stuff. And then they love it. Every time a new person comes, they keep coming.
Yeah.
So,
No, like I said, you can't. You won't leave disappointed. That's for damn certain. So. This is, I do believe on the poster, didn't it say something along the lines of, this is straight knockouts, right?
yeah, no tap outs,
No
just
tap
knockouts.
outs, just
So on your
knockouts.
feet, baby.
Yeah, all
On
on
their
your feet.
feet.
10-ounce gloves. Amateurs
Yeah.
wear shin guards, and people are like, "Oh God, they're wearing shin guards." Well, it's still gonna freaking hurt.
Oh,
Trust
yeah.
me.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
You can feel it.
you can kick them in the head. Like,
Yep.
if you're standing up, you can front kick them in the face. Like, it's just punches
Really,
and kicks.
really, I think the only thing it does is prevent cuts.
yeah.
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 You still feel the power and everything, but you don't get the shin guard on eyebrow kind of deal, or
Yeah. It'd
Yep.
be more damage, like,
Yeah.
shin to the dome, like,
Mhm.
bam, like.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
this is all at the North Iowa Event Center, Olson Building.
Yep, and then we got the 2 pro boxers finishing it off at the end,
Awesome.
So
There
and then
we
we
go.
added that, because Mark's like, hey, let's do this. So if it goes good, then I'll do another one in February. So then I'll have his boxers active at Elite Boxing, and that's,
Perfect.
I know he'll, 4 shows a year then. Like,
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
let's go.
Keep
Hell
getting bigger
yeah.
and bigger. I enjoy him out there. I can't wait for you also to get him back at the Mason City Arena too. God,
Oh,
that was
yeah.
that was such an experience. The teleprompter up there and the view there. First off, there wasn't a bad view in that house, anyways.
Right.
And then but then you had the camera rolling up there and it was just a damn good time.
Yeah, like, and I'm not just saying this because my show, it's literally the best venue I've ever been in. And I've been doing this for 12 years, and I've been all around the United States.
Yeah.
The fighters, I got 11 locker rooms. So I can
Wow.
just, 2 here, 5 here.
That's awesome.
This team here.
Yeah.
So they got their own locker rooms, their showers, bathroom.
That's a big deal, obviously we
Yeah.
fought together and stuff like that. So yeah, that's like rare to see at a lot of places. You
training
roll
on
in
dirt or
there's
outside,
all the fighters
barefoot.
in one or kind of half split, and so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so it's like super nice, and then they walk out on the jumbotrons like UFC fighters. It's just real big. The tail of
Pay-per-view?
the tape. Yeah, pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view.
We hold the record for the most sales for that company, and we had people from Argentina, Japan, China, Canada, all over the U.S. Of course. We had people from Jackson Wink fighting, and they want to come back too. It's like people are like, "Wow, this show is this is something else."
It was highly entertaining. There wasn't a fight that was. And me, you already know I'm not much of watching like wrestling and all that. I like to watch him just get up there and bang it out, and that's high majority we had. And even the couple that did turn into a wrestling match, it was a damn good time, and highly suggest it. I still
Can't
highly
wait to go.
And I think Chris was talking about that. He really wanted to go to that. I think something at that point came up. But
Yeah, we had some come up, couldn't go, but
Damn it, Chris.
I had everybody tell me it was like awesome, amazing. So November 27th, check it out.
Check
And
out
that'll
our
be better. Like Chris, when you're starting off there back in the day, now it's going to be a nicer setup, and we're going to have the whole Olsen building.
Oh, that's
and then they
that's
remodeled
nice.
it. They did the floor. They added like a huge bathroom. We're going to have like all the wedding stuff, so it's going to be like nice tablecloths. All the way around. We're gonna have crowd gates in there. Like we're
Okay.
gonna make it look like just phenomenal. Like I'm real big on production and like how things look and like is this napkin straight on this table?
Yep.
Like
presentation.
presentation.
Absolutely.
And then we got new people coming. Like we got a lot of new people from Elite Boxing that are coming. Too, and you want people to remember that stuff. You gotta try if you want to do something.
Yep.
You gotta try. So
Absolutely.
give it your all,
Absolutely.
Very cool.
And doing a damn good job so far.
Thank
Yep.
you. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Like I tell you guys, I love it, and I'll just keep trying to get better and better.
Yep.
Bring something huge here in Mason, so.
Yeah.
Very cool. Hey guys, we do have 2 general admission tickets, so keep listening to the podcast. We're going to do a little something, put on our social media pages, and a little contest so you could win these 2 tickets for the fights. So stay tuned and keep listening. We'll put it all out over social media when we do, so be sure to pay attention.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've been awfully quiet over there. Were you napping?
No, man, listening to the words of wisdom over here.
Oh, I know.
All right? We got to do that. No, we got to support our guy, man.
No,
Let him go.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
100%.
We're going to watch this shit grow. It's
Yep.
the whole story is great, man. I love
Yeah,
it.
just building
Yeah.
up, and it also helps give guys like ourselves inspiration to keep trying to keep going too. So we do appreciate that. Also, we appreciate you coming on. It's been funny, it's been intriguing, and it's a great pleasure.
Yeah, it's fun. Like I said, you invite me back sometime, man, and
Yeah.
we'll have some
absolutely.
fun,
We'll do it. We
Especially-
can definitely do like before the fights.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Boom. I love it. Yeah, we appreciate you coming on. Any last words of wisdom from you two?
I know you got to have something.
Well,
Ye-
for our last segment.
Yeah.
Our last
yeah.
segment.
For our last segment. All right, our last segment, Mike. I don't know if you listen to back into the podcast, but we do this thing called "It Makes Sense If You Don't Think About It." All right, and it's just something stupid that makes no sense. That something's either happened to you or you've heard it's happened and whatnot. So I'm gonna go off something that I've heard. Okay, so a friend of mine was telling me this story about where he works, right? And he's like. So we're at work and we're short-staffed, right? We don't have enough people and this and that. And I was like, yeah, that's crazy, It happens everywhere. And he's like, so we're short-staffed and work starts, this mandate with a vaccine. You got to start either having the vaccine or get tested, right? So, people are upset and this and that. They're short-staffed, so people are maybe mad, wanting to leave. So there could be a problem, right? So then he tells me later, he goes, well, now work is only hiring people that are vaccinated. So you can't even get fully staffed, and then you shorten that door even less, and we're only hiring that hiring pool.
That hiring
I was
pool
like,
shrunk
man, that's
it down.
crazy. I was like, looks like you're gonna be working lots of weekends, dude. So it makes sense if you don't think about it, right?
This makes sense if you don't think
sense.
about it. We really, really need people. If you guys could go out there and
Right,
find
that's-
somebody.
That's what he said. He felt like it just seemed. It was like, we really need people, but not really. And makes sense if you don't think about it, folks.
Yeah.
Man, I hope they're able to hire some people. I don't want those guys to have to work weekends all the time.
That would be crazy.
Or
That would be
or
tough.
doubles or
Anything like
doubles,
that.
12-hour
12s.
days. Yeah.
That
We
would
have to
be some
up the
crazy
pay.
shit. Yeah, gonna have to.
Gonna have
So-
to. Well, all right, guys. Hey, thanks for listening in. It's been a fun podcast. First interview we've really done with Mr. Mike Estus. So,
Hopefully many more to come.
yeah, many more to come.
Absolutely.
Definitely check out the fights if you live in the North Iowa area, or if you don't. If you come from Des Moines or whatever, fucking come check them out. They're awesome to watch, and you're supporting a good dude who's got a good purpose here. So, per the usual, podcasts available everywhere that you can find your podcast: Apple, Spotify, the whole nine. Pay attention to the podcast. We're going to give those tickets away here at some point on the socials. But for now, this is 3 Gig Sports.
We out.